Policing Inquiry, Tranche 2, Phase 2. We've been listening to more live evidence from Eric Docker. I'm joined by Donal of the Undercover Research Group. He's angry, isn't he?
He's very upset.
He's very upset.
He's been asked a lot of questions that he has to tell a lot of lies about. And as a good upstanding police officer, you're not meant to tell lies. Well, you so are, mate.
Oh my God, I mean, like, to be fair, I mean, majority of the time he can't recall, but when he can recall, it's a lie.
It's so obvious from his body language.
God.
Watch the video, like this has been, some of it's been streamed live.
Yeah, some of it,
You'll see his body language. He's got this thing where he does his jaw, and he's just like, how dare you ask me this? I did this for Queen and Country.
Yeah, I mean, you get the impression, God help anybody who runs into him at a kebab shop at 2 a.m. after he had a bad night out, because the man seemed very keen to get physical with someone. He's like, he's bolt up rage, he's about the whole thing.
He so does not want to hear this.
No, he really doesn't.
Entire thing, everything about this inquiry is like, it's all about the secrecy.
Yeah.
All about the secrecy. We were never meant to be discovered.
Yeah.
We were doing all this. It's like, yeah, mate. But what were you doing actually? It's so obvious he knew what was going on, and the contradictions of his evidence and the other evidence is just like so stark. Like previously we had that all the officers involved in the raid on Lambert's house for the Deadman's bombing knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Now he's saying they didn't know.
No,
but
they
Crouch
didn't.
was led by Crouch, who was in the SDS at that time was the same as anti-terrorism squad. It's just like, wait a second, none of you've got your story straight, you're contradicting each other madly, and it's because you're all lying.
Yeah, I mean, for the vast majority of stuff, we're getting no insight whatsoever. There have only been 2 items where I've picked up any particular insight. One was the fact that he says, well, it seems likely that Bob Lambert probably was in an ALF cell, but I didn't ask him and he didn't tell me, because if I had asked him, I'd have had to investigate it further. And if I'd investigated further, it might have unravelled the whole deployment.
And Bar pins and Bar was very good, just in the points of questioning, but so basically you don't see, don't tell. And he goes, no.
Willful
ignorance. And he goes, he immediately contradicts himself.
Yeah.
It's like, he's like doing so many of these other officers, they dig the hole and they go, no, I'm going to stand here. Yeah. And they just look so bad. Yeah,
incredibly bad. The other thing, which was something which he'd said to Operation Herm previously, about Dave Short, previous DCI previous chief inspector of the SDS, who said to him, you've lost control of Lambert. You've lost him.
You've lost him.
You've lost him. I can't remember the exact quote, but you've lost him. And he says, that's just purely about the events of one particular moment on the 9th of September 1987, where I hadn't got him to. He said, give me 2 hours before we phoned it in.
So this is there's a whole load of questions around this. So this is about when Clark and Shepard supposedly reassembling the devices for the second round of attacks on fur shops, and the police by this stage have them on the surveillance, getting ready to raid them. And clearly Lambert knows all about this. SDS know all about this, and the idea was they would give them enough time to assemble it and then raid. And it's like, and they would be told this by Lambert. There's no Lambert, they've got a surveillance team, they know Lambert's going in and out, but he's told denial about how Lambert is able to get all this intelligence and get away and give the right timing, and it's just like the facts are there. You're arguing against your own facts, and this is where that Short says they're waiting on this phone call from Lambert to say to go in, and Short's going, actually, it seems to me. Read between the lines. Short has twigged that, because he's not on the direct line of command at the moment. He's much higher up. He's liaison, but at this point he's twigged. Lambert's actually also in on it, and that's what I say. And it's like this. He's been in the SDS. He understands where this intelligence is coming from. He's looking at intelligence going, your man's dirty. Your man's in on this. So that's what I think is. And then you have all the surveillance, and it's just like, well, how come Lambert's not there? Oh yeah, and also this.
Just on that then. I mean, one of the things about Docker's responses is like when he said, "Are you sure this is just about the window of when you're meant to raid?" And he goes, "Well, That's what I think happened, and Dave Short sadly no longer with us, so you can't ask him, can you?
Yes.
And it was so blatantly like, aha, and he's dead, so you've got to take my word for it. Just like, fucking
But
hell,
it does answer things like, how did Lambert know that 2 hours would be enough time? There was something, it's like, you got this super sensitive ALF cell doing, it was just carried out one of the biggest actions in the country, in the ALF history, certainly in that type of attack. And yet this random person who seems to know absolutely everything they're doing and is fully trusted. It's like, I think the admission that that Lambert was part of the cell is really key. It's like, it's basically it's a real crack of the arm. It's like, he's part of the cell, he's part of the problem. The whole conviction is unsafe. That's all what this is leading up to. The conviction is unsafe.
100%. Yeah, there's no two ways about it, really. I mean, the fact that he's had to admit that when he hasn't wanted to admit anything about anything, he's had to go, well, probably he was, but I didn't want to ask, and he didn't tell me, so I'm clean. Which is like the worst fucking, you know.
And now he can see that the whole empire of credibility is falling apart at this point, but also the whole empire of credibility of this unit is falling apart because once those convictions are overturned, then their crowning glory, their crowning achievement is totally solid. All their, hey, we were SDS now. He's not an elite; they were just ordinary people.
Oh God, I forgot that.
Clearly believes he is so obvious from his body language. He believes he's elite. Yeah,
very much.
There's also a bit about the video footage from Debenhams.
Oh yes.
Disappearing, and then you could Bob points at the special branch, interfere, said we're taking over the investigation. There's a statement from the officer. Special branch are taking over the investigation. Special branch wouldn't investigate. It would be 18.
Yeah, absolutely. That's rubbish. He's really angry about it.
It's anti-terrorism squad, but at that stage, like anti-terrorism squad had an SDS liaison inside it. The two units were so utterly intertwined. Factually, the anti-terrorism squad came out in the 70s from Special Branch as part of the Dixon's mob around the Angry Brigade. They've always been tightly linked. So the idea was like, it's this sort of Chinese stores. It's like, but actually, they're all here. They're all integrated. They're all being seconded. Like going back to the Angry Brigade, one of the heads of the SDS was actually in the anti-bomb squad at the time. But the other thing that came out about the video footage was that nobody had bothered to look at it.
You've never watched.
It's just like, hello? Really?
Yeah. And it's like, do you think that Bob Lambert was on the footage? Well, I wouldn't imagine that he was. I mean, just like rather than going, no, he wasn't. I know he wasn't. It was, I wouldn't imagine so.
So the other question that's not been asked in any of this, where were you on that night, Bob Lambert? Where were you? Where's your alibi? Because the alibi that you said to the police at the time you're relying on was Belinda Harvey.
She says you weren't there.
She said you weren't there. So where is your alibi? What were you doing on that night?
Planting a bomb in Harrow.
Very successfully.
Very successfully, And we haven't got much longer. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, but it is absolutely fascinating. Some of the most interesting stuff I've watched so far.
I mean, you say that, but I mean, I must say to the casual viewer, all they're seeing is a guy going, I can't recall, I don't remember, I can't recall.
Yeah, but watch the body language. In this case, it's about how much you're prepared to lie. Staggering. To me, this is one of the most interesting moments.
And this is a man who, he swore on the Bible at the start. We haven't seen many of those. I'm expecting it to burst into flames at some point. Or him to burst into flames.
Well, at the rate he's going, he is quite likely to burst into flames.
Just with his own anger causing a spontaneous explosion. Right, thanks for joining. I'll see you at the end. We'll do another video. Cheers for now.